And the first thing I want to say is we'll get the headlines in, and then I just want to give everybody what's actually happened with Frankie de Jong and why Man United are to blame. Because a lot of people are saying, United couldn't have done any more. They've agreed a fee with Barcelona. We could have done a lot more. But first of all, let's go through the headlines. So this is the first thing I want to say. It's from the Daily Mail. With the belief that a deal for Frankie de Jong to Manchester United could be reached at one stage during the summer, Erik ten Hag thought it wasn't necessary to consider any alternatives. If that's true, that's a real shame that Erik ten Hag hasn't done his homework on Man United. Because I tell you what, if Man United were my parents and they said, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I want a PS5, I'd definitely say, or an Xbox. Because I wouldn't trust them to get the PS5. And I think what Erik ten Hag has done is he's trusted United to get the PS5, hasn't he? And yeah, you've got to have a backup plan there, Eric. Man United would have been willing to pay a part of Frankie de Jong's deferred wages in order to sign him. However, unless there is a turn of events, Erik ten Hag and Manchester United are set for disappointments. That's from the same journalist. Then from That's Football, but it's from Gerard Romero. Chelsea and Barcelona are in the final stretch of reaching an agreement for Frankie de Jong. And then also from Gerard Romero, Chelsea and Barcelona are close to reaching an agreement for Frankie de Jong. They're doing everything to sign him. I mean, just going back to that one very, very quickly though. Look, I still think United have a chance of getting Frankie de Jong. I do. It's not over. It's not over. And we'll talk about what Sky said in a minute. But that doesn't mean anything major yet, because we've agreed a deal with Barcelona. So Chelsea agreeing a deal with Barcelona, obviously he could well go to Chelsea, but we've already agreed a deal with Barcelona. So Chelsea agreeing a deal with Barcelona just means that maybe they can persuade de Jong, but they could be in the same position we're in as well. Akit says, Mark, today's my birthday and hopefully United can make my day better, as it's been a disappointing few weeks and I don't see that changing. Mux, happy birthday, Akil. Mark, could you please stop sponsoring Manscaped? Every time you mention it, my wife tells me I need to buy one, says United Forever. Use the code, scan the QR code, and get that top off and get the Frankie one on, Mark, says Joshua Bellwater. I've still got that. I'm not... in fact, let me just grab it. So, ignore our million subscriber plaque there. It's still here. Frankie goes to Manchester. We should do a poll. Is it going in the bin or is it getting framed? I mean, we don't know yet, but if it does end up going to Chelsea, I'll have to do a little video on my Instagram of me burning it, won't I? Also, hi Mark. When the going gets tough, will Eric get rough? Says Luke. I don't know. There's a lot to be concerned about United at the moment, isn't there? Let's be honest. The defeats, but I just wanted to say this. The story around Frankie de Jong has become muddled, and some people don't think United have got any blame in this, and some people think United are completely at fault for this. We're going to do a poll on that in a minute, don't worry. So look, in a very, very short summary, before we give you the update from Sky, and effectively, the headline is that there is a de Jong decision coming up in the next 48 hours, and the reason for that is that Barcelona have got problems registering players. If they sell de Jong, then they can register players. They might be able to register players anyway, but there was even talk today that Christensen and Kessie, who've joined this summer, will have to leave on a free transfer on Saturday if they don't register them in time. So there is some urgency to this, and I think Barcelona want it to get resolved in the next couple of days, which probably plays in the hands of Chelsea, who are quite quick at getting things done. PSV Oregon, welcome to the members club, and also Dan Halford as well. So for anybody who's interested, oh my God, Akil on his birthday has just gifted 20 United Stand memberships. Should be going the other way, Akil, but that's absolutely fantastic. Legend of the chat. Happy birthday, Akil. Make sure you say it in the chat. But the reason I would say, and Sean Turner says, I think the most likely outcome is de Jong reduces his wages. Most of the Barca players are doing it. He will follow suit. It has to be sorted by Saturday. Exactly, Sean. So 48 hours effectively. Just over. I'll buy that Frankie t-shirt off you, Marks. It's triggered. It becomes a collector's item, doesn't it? Yeah, I might not burn it. So basically, the reason Man United are at fault is this. Let's break the Frankie de Jong transfer down very, very quickly. Man United agree a fee with Barcelona after 2 months at the end of June. They also have spoken to his agents and agreed a broad basis of what is on offer. Those two things are not in dispute. Any journalist, even Man United, might admit it, but it's well known, and it's been well known for over a month. United agreed a fee with Barcelona, and they've spoken to the agents of de Jong, and they've agreed a deal in principle. Obviously, it's not been signed officially because De Jong refuses to go without being paid. The wages that De Jong is meant to be getting at United is over 350k a week. I don't know about signing on fees, and I don't know the length of the contract. So we've agreed a fee with Barcelona, and we've broadly agreed a deal with Frenkie de Jong's agent as well. So why haven't we signed him? Because Frenkie de Jong doesn't want to leave, and also he won't leave without getting the money he's owed by Barcelona. So Manchester United, up until the start of July, had done everything you would expect. They finally agreed a fee with Barcelona, who were being very difficult in June and May, to be fair. We agreed a fee at the start of July with Barcelona, and we've always had this, in principle, contract that De Jong's agent and presumably De Jong are happy with. United then step away and go, we've done all we can. At the start of July, Man United step away and go, we've done all we can. It's now up to Barcelona and De Jong to solve their differences, and when that's solved, he'll come to Man United. And that's what United did. Walked away. He went on tour. United backed off. That was a month ago. Within that time, Chelsea have started buying players and sorting things out, and have then gone, you know what, we fancy De Jong. And now Chelsea are going in, and Chelsea are saying, we'll pay the deferred wages. United are suddenly like, well, we don't mind paying some of the deferred wages as well. Too late. Too late. Man United are at fault here because Chelsea have come in and said, we'll pay the deferred wages. If United had paid the deferred wages at the start of July, a decision would have had to be made. And maybe De Jong would have said, I don't want to make my mind up yet, I'm going to wait another month. In which case, we should have backed off. But we left the deal open. And we didn't close the deal. Because we didn't want to pay the deferred wages, because we thought Barcelona would end up paying them eventually for De Jong. But we never understood that basically we'd left the door open for somebody else to walk in. And that is why it's our fault. People, you cannot say United did everything they could, because we didn't. Chelsea is swooping in and going, we'll pay the deferred wages, we want to get it done quickly. United said, we're not paying the deferred wages, we've agreed a deal, that's what the deal is, and we'll wait. And we gambled, and we failed. And some of you might agree with United not paying the deferred wages because Barcelona should pay them, and morally they should. But unfortunately, Chelsea have decided that they're going to come in and pay those wages. Now, I don't think Chelsea should pay them. And you could argue that United were right to not pay them. But if the player was so important to this rebuild, which he clearly is, because Ten Hag has no alternative, we should have just paid the deferred wages, really. So it is on United, whether you like it or not. It is, because there were things that we could have done. What do you think about Michael Knighton and Sir Jim Ratcliffe preparing a £5 million hostile bid? They won't get anywhere with 5 million, convex. And I don't think Sir Jim Ratcliffe's involved either. De Jong reminds me of a guy that enjoys being in an abusive relationship, wants to stay but won't take a pay cut and won't leave until he's got his 17 million, to Slow Sports News. But I think we just explained that. Ginger Red says, Mark, the club is sinking and it's not just the share price. The deeper you sink, the pressure increases and you eventually implode. Maybe a total reset would be the best if we could get rid of these toxic owners. Welcome to Members Club, Byron. Was saying to my mate at work today, let this sink in. City and Liverpool have sold better players than we are looking to sign. Glazers out, says James Clough. Welcome to Members Club, Mark. And evening, Mark. Do you think if we do get De Jong, do you think we would still be in for Rabiot if the deal hasn't already gone through, says Jordan. I think the logical thing with Rabiot is to presume that he is the replacement for Frenkie de Jong. However, if you want something positive, read this. This came out at about 6 o'clock tonight from Sky Sports. Frenkie de Jong remains Manchester United's #1 priority and they still believe a deal can be done with a fee agreed with Barcelona and a broad agreement with de Jong's agent. So Man United are still hanging in there. Some people are saying United expect to lose the race, but they are still in there. So look, I don't know. I think we need one thing I think we can all agree on. We need this to end. We need it to be over, and we need it to be over very quickly. So let's hope we can get some resolution on this in the next couple of days.